Harry plays the rock star. Prince walks on to a standing ovation and tells crowd they are awesome, as he joins stars at Vax live concert in LA before urging audience to look beyond ourselves, while pregnant Meghan stays at home. Prince Harry had his name in lights as he was greeted with wild cheers and a standing ovation by a rapturous crowd during a speech at a star-studded concert in Los Angeles on Sunday, while his heavily pregnant wife Meghan Markle stayed at home. Harry, 36, told the audience of vaccinated frontline workers, "Every single one of you are awesome," before urging them to look beyond ourselves as he joined a list Hollywood celebrities at Vax Live, an initiative to encourage rich countries to share vaccines. After an announcer read out an introduction, "Please welcome Vax Live campaign chair Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex," the royal walked onto the stage to a rock star-style reception, with his name beamed in giant letters on a flashing screen behind him. Harry, who appeared in public for the first time since the funeral of his grandfather, Prince Philip, delivered a 5-minute address calling for vaccines to be shared with poorer countries, which was regularly punctuated by more rapturous cheers. Speaking in a markedly different accent than his previous Queen's English, Harry said, "We must look beyond ourselves with empathy and compassion for those we know, and those we don't. We need to lift up all of humanity and make sure that no person or community is left behind." The event, which was being recorded for broadcast on TV on May 8, was the first speech Harry had given since he and Meghan made a series of damning claims about their family during an appearance on Oprah. The Duchess of Sussex is expected to be recording a message to appear in the final broadcast. The royal was among many high-profile stars, including Jennifer Lopez, Selena Gomez, Gayle King and Ben Affleck, to take the stage at Vax Live, which was hosted by campaign organization Global Citizen at the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Harry and Meghan, 39, are campaign chairs of Vax Live, which aims to inspire vaccine confidence worldwide and help get the vaccines to everyone, everywhere, according to Global Citizen. In promoting the event, organizers said the Duke and Duchess of Sussex would deliver an important global message for vaccine equity. Meghan, who is several months pregnant with the couple's second child, trusted Harry to share that message on her behalf as she stayed home on Sunday. In his address, Harry said, "Tonight is a celebration of each of you here, the vaccinated frontline workers in the audience and the millions of frontline heroes around the world. You spent the last year battling courageously and selflessly to protect us all. You served and sacrificed, put yourselves in harm's way and with bravery knowing the costs. We owe you an incredible depth of gratitude. Thank you." He continued, "We're coming together because this pandemic cannot end unless we act collectively with an unprecedented commitment to our shared humanity. The vaccine must be distributed to everyone everywhere. We cannot rest or truly recover until there is fair distribution to every corner of the world. The mission in front of us is one we cannot afford to fail out, and that's what tonight is about. The virus does not respect borders and access to the vaccine cannot be determined by geography. It must be accepted as a basic right for all, and that is our starting point. None of us should be comfortable thinking that we could be fine when so many others are suffering. In reality, and especially with this pandemic, when any suffer, we all suffer. We must look beyond ourselves with empathy and compassion for those we know, and those we don't. We need to lift up all of humanity and make sure that no person or community is left behind. What we do in this moment will stand in history, and tonight, We stand in solidarity with the millions of families across India who are battling a devastating second wave."
Prior to a section on misinformation, the prince said, "Hi guys, this next bit is a bit dry but very serious. But before I start, I just want to say every single one of you in here are awesome. Thank you. I understand why people are confused or sometimes don't know what to think or believe about vaccines. We are experiencing a viral pandemic alongside a digital pandemic. In today's world we are so connected, and much like the virus there are no virus online. So when vaccine misinformation and disinformation spreads, magnified on social media and in parts of traditional media, it poses a collective threat to humanity. I believe that misinformation is a global humanitarian crisis and the crisis is getting worse." Hosted by Selena Gomez, the concert, to be broadcast this Saturday, featured musical performances by Jennifer Lopez, Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder, Foo Fighters, J Balvin and her. The event raised $53.80, £38.8 million, for COVAX, which is working to provide vaccines for low and middle income countries. Organizers said it was enough to help purchase almost 10.3 million vaccine doses. Messages about vaccine equity were heard from guests including Ben Affleck, David Letterman, Gayle King, Jimmy Kimmel, and Sean Penn. U.S. President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden also made a special appearance through Global Citizens Partnership with the White House's We Can Do This initiative, which encourages measures including mask wearing. President Biden said in a video address that the U.S. was working with leaders around the world to share more vaccines and boost production to make sure every country has the vaccines they need. Lines of white diamonds running down her front and sleeves prior to the concert, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex released a statement saying, "Over the past year, our world has experienced pain, loss, and struggle together. Now we need to recover and heal together. We can't leave anybody behind. We will all benefit. We will all be safer when everyone, everywhere has equal access to the vaccine. We must pursue equitable vaccine distribution and, in that, restore faith in our common humanity. This mission couldn't be more critical or important." The concert marked the biggest event to take place yet at the Sophie Stadium, which opened in the midst of the pandemic last September. The stadium has space for 70,000 people, but it was unclear how many were slated to attend the Vax Live concert. The ticket disclaimer required all attendees to have received their final dose of vaccine no later than April 18, allowing the required 2-week time frame to be considered fully vaccinated. It comes as a royal expert claimed Prince Harry was now regretful and embarrassed about his Oprah interview because he has a history of being hot-headed and acting on his emotions. Duncan Larcombe, author of Prince Harry, The Inside Story, got to know the Duke of Sussex during his decade-long stint as a royal editor and described him as hot-headed. Speaking to Closer magazine, he said Harry has a tendency to act on impulse, and recalled a time when the prince flew off the handle at him following a misunderstanding at Peter Phillips' stag do in 2008. Duncan told how he explained to William and Harry that he wouldn't get in their way while covering the event, and would liaise with them about the story he'd run. During the weekend, he said the Duke of Cambridge invited him to join them for a drink in the beer garden, but Harry was livid thinking he'd snuck in there on the sly. "He's a hot-headed guy, he acts on his emotions," Duncan told Closer. "He saw red and we had a row, but after William explained, he calmed down, apologized and we had a beer."
Duncan added that he believes a similar thing happened when it came to the Oprah Winfrey interview last month, in which Harry and Meghan claimed Charles and William are trapped in the firm, and accused the royals of institutional racism, alleging one member of the family questioned what color their son Archie's skin would be. Harry was clearly hurt and angry about Meghan's experience with the royals, and used the interview to get it out, Duncan said, but after returning home, I've no doubt he's been feeling embarrassed, regretful and awkward. He's now facing the consequences. I believe he'll regret that interview, and maybe his decision to leave the royal family. The Duke of Sussex returned to the UK to attend Prince Philip's funeral on April 17, after stepping down as a senior royal in January 2020 and subsequently having his titles stripped by the Queen. He flew back to California, where he now resides in a £11 million Montecito mansion with Meghan, 39, who is pregnant with their second child, days later, missing the Queen's 95th birthday on April 21. Charles, William and Harry were said to have talked after the interview, but they were believed to have been unproductive. Duncan said he'd heard Harry felt numb, heading back to LA and had mixed emotions about seeing his family again at Prince Philip's funeral, which reminded him of everything he's sacrificed in recent years and made him feel nostalgic for his old life. Meanwhile, he alleged, Meghan is in her element, living her LA dream, and he fears Harry will struggle to live harmoniously as part of these two worlds. He's in for a very difficult ride. There could be tough times ahead, Duncan said. William and Harry are expected to meet again in the summer when they unveil a new statue to Princess Diana at Kensington Palace. Insiders hope the July 1 event, done to commemorate what would have been their mother's 60th birthday, will help mend their relationship. Though earlier this week royal expert Russell Myers questioned whether the visit will take place, commenting, "Some quarters of the family did give him a frosty reception and perhaps that did shock him somewhat." He went on to say how the Duke of Sussex may use the birth of his daughter, who is expected to arrive in the summer, as a convenient excuse not to face the family. According to a new poll, the Sussexes' approval ratings in Britain have fallen again to their lowest ever levels following Prince Philip's funeral.
Thanks for watching our channel. Please subscribe, like and share our channel. Please press the bell icon below for latest video. And help us to grow our channel by sharing it on your websites and social media accounts. Thank you very much.